Hey, Katie Joy, the Global Butterfly here, and I've got Margie O'Hara, who is an amazing artist, and I haven't really interviewed too many people before, but I got someone very special with Margie on today. So I wanted to share a couple of opportunities with you and introduce this beautiful woman to you and just share what she's up to as well, that you might even get an invitation to join at the end of this little interview conversation. So Margie, hi, welcome. How are you?
Oh, hey, hi, Katie. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Now, I'm in Perth, Western Australia. You're based on the other side of the country. You're up there in the North Queensland. Do you want to just let people know a little bit about you, what you do, and even how we met?
Oh, yeah, sure. My friend Bernie, who also lives in Townsville here, suggested that I do a course with you, with the fabulous Katie Joy, who I didn't know much about. So I sort of did a bit of Googling and a bit of research. Went, yeah, she sounds pretty good. And so, yes, signed up for your free course, I think it was the first one. And then went, just love your energy, love everything about it, love the group, and continued from there. So that's sort of how we met.
Awesome. Well, you missed something really important. Thank you very much for the love on me. I wanted the love on you first. Like, what do you do? Tell us a bit about your art background, because you're pretty clever.
Oh, thank you. Well, I started off as a children's author and illustrator. So always been creative, tried many different things over my life. Anything creative, I've probably had a go at it and tried it. And I love writing, but I couldn't sort of get the illustrations, and people couldn't illustrate them for me because it wasn't what I was seeing in my mind. So I took 12 months off to learn how to do it myself. Did an intensive photography and digital manipulation course. Took a sort of gamble on myself because it was quite expensive, and to be honest, haven't looked back since. So, you've got to invest in yourself to keep moving forward. So long story short, the children's books were successful. The artwork was really different at the time, and it's still a little bit different. And then the digital art just sort of started to transform into different avenues and different styles. And over COVID, I was supposed to go to Ireland for an artist residency to develop a collection and then exhibit in a castle. How cool was that going to be? Yeah. But COVID had different ideas. So, but there's always good in anything that happens like that. So I was stuck at home. We were very fortunate. We only went into lockdown for 2 weeks, and I know that's pretty good, and I really feel for the people that went into lockdown, especially in Melbourne, for long periods of time. But it gave me the chance to just work on a project. I just thought I'd start a project based on one-word affirmations. I put on the base layer of my artwork because I'm totally digital, and then using colour psychology and the same face. It was an experiment to see how many stories I could tell with my ladies. Then they suddenly grew to 30.
Wow. And that's one of the ladies behind you that you've created, right? On that beautiful graphic there, the painting. Yep.
Yeah. I should have had the first one. I should have brought Fleur in. And then my kids said, Mum, you become obsessed with these ladies. And I thought, oh yeah, what am I going to do with 30? So that's how I started with my affirmation cards. So I had a message, I had an image, and I had something to share with the rest of the world. So I had the time then to research how to do everything and just jumped head on in. And they've been so successful. I'm just so grateful that they resonate with so many people. And since then, I've done a real live exhibition with the canvases, and sold over 70% of the canvases sort of within that first couple of days of opening. So it's been a crazy ride this last couple of years, and it's really exciting.
That's amazing. Do you happen to have a deck of your cards with you right now there?
I do. So this is the deck. So they're in a rigid Faces of the Forest, rigid boxing. And then
beautiful, gold trim and all, pretty.
Oh, they're a bit hard to see like that. I've probably got too many here at once, but they're just, so as I say, the same face, but different colour psychology, and then that relates to the affirmation on the back. So
and you've got something really unique and special. You've actually got possibly one of the first in Australia artists to have an app linked to the cards. So there's a different butterfly that comes off with each card. Is that correct?
That's correct. That I'm not sure if I can show you, but let's have a go and see whether I can get the app to work. Back to front, Miss Jane, on this video. So it's a free app that you download when you purchase the cards. This could be quite
it's gone blank. Yeah,
this could be quite tricky. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to do. I don't.
It's facing you. Yeah, the card.
Yeah, and that's not going to work that way. I don't think it's going to.
Put the card behind it, so it's between you and the phone.
Yeah, but that won't read it at the back here.
No.
Hang on. Let me see if I can get it to activate. Oh, you know what? Hang on. Now we're cooking.
Yeah. Go.
Oh, hang on. I've got to get it.
There we go. We can see it. That's special. Yeah, that's pretty funky. Very cool.
Oh, there we go. So, yes, at this stage, as far as I know, it's the only fully interactive card deck in Australia. And each card is activated, and different coloured butterflies come out of the cards. So it's pretty clever.
That's amazing. You are very clever. Now, I just want to take a few steps back in the timeline a bit, so that, you know, as we share what's coming up, that people can sort of like weave together the journey. So when Bernie, one of my clients who has, you know, been in my vortex for quite a while, she's an amazing massage therapist and healer there in North Queensland. And she introduced you to me and my work, and then you joined us with the Soul Alignment and Business Energetics course, and then you jumped on in and joined us with the Awakened Soul program. And that's, you know, really a deep dive into self-discovery to really live authentically, design your life and live your dreams, right?
Yeah.
Now, you came in, right, you know, before you were doing a big artist event that you were doing there in North Queensland. And one of your dreams that you activated was to have, I think you said 20 people at the event, was it?
Yeah. I think it was pretty well.
Yeah, you're laughing. It's like you had 80 plus by the time you finished and everything else.
Yeah.
And one of the key things that I know you said to me was a really big benefit of the Awakened Soul program is that it brought you out of hiding. You were willing to step up there and be seen, heard, and felt, and to be in photographs and be visible and be the hostess inside, right? How did that experience, because this is important, because a lot of people want to do business, they want to have their goals, but they kind of want to do it without being seen. It's like,
oh, look.
Might work that way.
Yeah, I can still relate to that sometimes.
Yeah.
And,
so, how did the Awakened Soul program really activate that in you? Because it's going to come to that next step for the cards and then where you're going with that. So how did the Awakened Soul program really activate that best aspect of you to really be bold and courageous and brave to go for your own dreams?
Yeah, look, the Awakened Soul program did do that. I can't pinpoint exactly where, but I can definitely, I would still be hiding behind myself going, oh, why aren't I selling anything? Why aren't I getting my things out to everyone? So with the Awakened Soul program and just the support of yourself and the others in the group, it just pushes you that little bit, and you sort of take that step, because I had a lot of self-confidence issues that I had to overcome from a lot of negative programming.
Yep.
With the help of the Awakened Soul program, smash some of them out of the road. Every now and then I'll find myself falling back into that little negative belief pattern.
Sure.
But because of the program, I can recognize that and go, no, this is who I am. So
awesome. So you've got the skills now. You've got the skills and the tools, and you're able to identify when that voice stuff comes up, and you know exactly what to do to how to move yourself forward out of that. So this is where it gets really exciting, because you've continued your journey working with me. And one of the, I take you through to massive momentum in the Soul Goal Academy, and then in my Love Light Leadership Academy, where I really help you turn your ideas into income online, but we do it with absolute heart and soul, full integrity, and really highlight all your strengths. And that's where you got the idea to teach people how to create their own affirmation cards, information cards, education cards. And when you shared that with me, I said, do you know what this really is? And you can share with everyone what it really is.
It's your number one marketing tool for your business. It can be used in so many ways and so many different, not every industry will sort of resonate with it, but there are so many heart-centered industries that will.
So who are some of those people? Like who would really benefit for creating a deck of cards for their business, or maybe even for their own personal experience, their own life? Who would benefit the most?
Oh, look, Katie, there's so many different people. The ones that come to mind for me, I'm an ideas person. I just have so many ideas sometimes, and I go, oh, I could make a set for this and this and that. I go, haven't quite got the time to do all that, but other people can. So I'm sharing my knowledge to enable other people to do some of the things that, I think would be great. So photographers is a perfect, avenue for cards. Other artists, of course, different genres. You can showcase your art or your photography if you're a creative. We've got somebody coming on board that does stitching, and she uses hand-dyed threads, and her photography catches me. When I see her posts, her photography of her products and her threads are beautiful. So you imagine that tied with either some information on the back about the threads or the project, or she could do so many different things with that. If you're a yoga teacher, fitness instructors, any coaches of any sort, like wellness coaches, improvement coaches, because you can put a quote on the front if you like, or an image, and you can have information on the back. You could have statements, have questions, have quotes. The possibilities are endless, and I'm just so excited with the people that I've come across already and their ideas, and helping them brainstorm their thoughts. And I can't wait to see what everybody produces. Awesome.
Well, I helped you package your whole idea into a course, your mini course, your starter course, and you already launched it as a beta launch once already. And I jumped in on that because I could see the benefits of doing this as well. And I have to tell you, I absolutely loved it. I got super giddy with excitement about it. I thought, this is really hot potato cakes, what you're offering. And the exciting thing is that you're offering to launch one more beta test. Kind of pushed you out there to do it again tonight. Get out there, go do it again before Christmas. And so you've agreed to do that with another beta course with what you offer inside that course is absolutely top value, and so much value for what you're offering, even when you go to your normal pricing that you're going to charge for it. But I know that right now for the November launch, which is in a couple of weeks away, your goal is how many people to be in that group? 22?
22. My goal is to have 22 for, say, this year. So help 22 people.
You got this opportunity, and I know you've got numbers already rolling in. Even my mum, who's an amazing photographer, has jumped on board with this one. And
so love it.
Oh, she will. She got some sensational landscape photography and flowers. She travels all over WA looking for really rare orchids like that, you don't see everywhere. So for $97, you're offering the opportunity to go through that whole program. And you actually, there's a live component with it, like in the experience going through, even though you've got the modules stepping people through. Mm-hmm. So do you want to just share a little bit about what's in it? What do people get, and how is it going to help them?
Well, I take them, there's 6 modules. So there'll be 6 little introduction video modules, because I've got to get out there on video, and that's a big thing for me. So I'm kind of excited about that, and I've even been able to watch them back and be okay with them. So that's again back from the Soul Goal Academy, because before that, there's no way you would have got me on a video. You're lucky to get me in a photograph, let alone on a video. So there's 6 really short ones, up to about 15, 20 minutes, I think some of them are. Some are a little bit shorter. 6 modules, 6 workbooks. So I take you through step by step. So you might sort of think, oh, I'm a photographer. Yeah, it sounds good, but I'm not sure exactly what I could do with them. So we'll go through different ideas, because the first group we had ladies that already had their ideas and had started. And after doing the course, they just retweaked a little bit because they'd missed one of the first steps. So it's sort of for all abilities, or where you're at in your journey, I think is what I'm trying to say. So I just do it step by step, because I had to research and do everything and find out things the hard way. Nobody would share information with me like where they got their cards printed from. If I asked anybody, they were very cagey and they'd just say, oh, offshore. Oh, no, I'm not sharing my printer with you. And I kind of thought, okay. So I share everything in this course. And if there's things in there that people would like to know that I haven't shared, then if they ask, I'm transparent. I'll share with them whatever they need to know. So I go through printing, I go through imaging, licensing, and just a few little things if you want to sell on through retail stores, just some important things that you need to know that you may not know unless you've done it before. So just lots of information. Pretty much I just track my journey, and then I've bundled all that up into this course for people.
Awesome. So, having gone through it, what I found really amazing is it really sets you up with the mindset, the creativity, how to actually create the cards, where to source your images from, how to make sure you don't get stung with licensing, what's it called? Fines or being slapped with some legal issues. I found the module around printing incredibly helpful, and that alone is worth the cost of the course because of the amount of mistakes to avoid that would just absolutely help people alleviate pain from the most common mistakes that happen a lot. So there's that. And then, I love how you provide that really depth of detail around the packaging options and the ideas around that, and just even how to get started, how to continue, and really just how to utilize them all in a marketing strategy and in the different ways that you've done it. Very clever, very creative, and just it's a fabulous modern way of, if someone wanted to write a book, for example, it could take months, even a year or more. And I know because I'm It's taken a lot longer than what I wanted to, because, you know, it's my heart and soul. It's a legacy. I don't want to just slap words on a page, right? Yeah. But, you know, when it comes to printing cards, it's not quite as an expose, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? It's a lot quicker to market, but also there's so many tools and ways that you can use those that are going to be really great to leverage your business or get your brand out there, which is really, really amazing. And so I'm just really excited, not just for you, because I know that you're going to get super busy with a lot of people wanting to do this, but I'm excited for all the people that you guide on the journey to help them facilitate their creation into reality as well. What is really cool about this next round that you're doing is you're doing an added bonus, well, two actually, but the one that I'm going to speak to first is the one that it's a live over the shoulder, watch you in Canva create a card deck, and, you know, going through the whole process. So that is super valuable because it takes all that theory and just really activates it into let me show you. And then you've got an interview with the guy who did the app for you, right? For those that would be interested in considering that as a possibility, you're going to share your story of how you actually got your app activated. So this gives a little bit more insight and maybe some guidance for those that might think, oh, that sounds like a good idea for me too.
Yeah, that should be good. That's going to be unscripted and we're just going to fly blind with that and see how it goes.
Yeah, awesome. Is there anything else that you'd like to share with people in the audience who are listening or watching? You know, what would be a couple of key reasons why they want to work with you, and why would they want to do it for themselves? Come on, get on your pedestal here, because you're amazing. You're a great artist. Give a bit of your background.
Well, I guess I've actually done it. I'm not teaching from, say, theory, you know, like a graphic designer knows how to do everything, but they haven't actually done the process themselves. So sometimes you do need a graphic designer. So I think my course is coming from, I've actually done it myself, and I'm sharing the little bits that I've picked up along the way. So sometimes somebody with all the technical skill might not pick up on some of the little things that you can do wrong. So, and I've just found I've sold over 700 and nearly 800 cards just in the last, I've only had them 2 years. So they're doing really well, and, you know, other people can do exactly the same thing for themselves if it's, and what I say to people is, say there's two or three photographers in our group. Mm-hmm. Don't let that put you off, because each photographer has their own style and their own energy. So it'll all come, each deck will be completely different.
Absolutely.
Even if we all pick cats, everybody's like a crazy cat deck, and I'm going to do some of them as an example in the course. If, you know, each one would be completely different and have a different vibe about them. So I'm just excited to get some ideas out there for other people. And as people are registering, I'll try and find out a little bit about what they do. So, like, I know your mum's a photographer, so I'm going to try and get some little in situ ones done. So just to give some ideas, to brainstorm and get everybody's creative juices flowing.
Absolutely.
And just sort of have a little variety of different things. So yeah, thinking about it, I think you'll have a lot of fun.
I reckon. And look, just as some example, because I'm a business marketing coach as well, spiritual coach and mentor, and you know how my brain's like a ninja on crack, triple crack when it comes to ideas and implementing them. And I said to my mum, who's an amazing photographer, and I said to her, look, you sell and make, she does a lot of online, but she also does the markets. And I said, people don't go to the market and expect to spend $300 to $800 on a thing there and then. You know, there's some that do, but it's usually a process of, it's in my brain now, I'm going to think about it. Where are you going to be next? Or how do I find you? I said to her, put all your photos on these cards and sell those at the markets, because for $30, $40, it's an instant purchase, and just most people have the discretionary income for that. You know what I mean? It's within their budget to go out on a Saturday or Sunday and just make a purchase at a market. And then they can have that as like it's in their face all the time. So something to be able to, you know, follow up and maybe buy that bigger piece in the coming months. I know for myself as a business coach, as a life coach, it's, you know, the other option too is you don't have to have the deck to sell just as the deck. It could be like a book. It's a tool to be able to connect people, to be able to be, you know, in your field and then invite to the next step. It could be used as a bundle, as something else. It could be used in so many different ways.
Oh, you're right. There's so many different things you can do with them. And at my exhibition, my big pieces were selling for $380 plus and upwards for the originals. And exactly what you've just said, some people couldn't afford that, and that's okay, but they were thrilled to be able to purchase a deck of cards and still have that same feeling, because the ladies of the forest, faces of the forest, create and connect with people on an emotional level. So, and the same as photography or other people's, you know, with photography on them, they can connect to that and take a little piece of you home. Then you're in your front of mind with them, and they see you every day when they get their cards out. And I've had a couple of instances where they've found a particular one they seem to gravitate to. And then when I do a market or something, because I don't discount any of my artwork, I do to bring in a more affordable price point, I'll do a 30 by 30, but I won't discount my artwork ever. So then when I go to the markets, they'll see that one and go, oh, actually, I can afford that one at $90. That's just under my 100. I can get that. So, you know, the cards, you're in people's, they're front of mind when they're on your when you're on their fridge, or just when they get your cards out every day. So it's a brilliant marketing tool.
Absolutely. And look, for a bit of abundance out there and a bit of inspiration to people who might be sitting on the fence, would you be willing to share your special story of when you were on the walk on the mountain?
I can do that.
I think that would be really great. People can really connect with like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm so jumping in and doing this course, right? Because that is a really fabulous marketing strategy that's not necessary marketing. Like it was done unintentionally, but as soon as you did it, I was like, you're marketing. And it's like, you know, people hand out business cards, and honestly, what do you do with them? I mean, I usually don't even take them, or if I do, they get shoved in a drawer. I never look at them again, right? Yeah. And even these days, if people are doing business cards on apps, you know, it's out of sight, out of mind. Tell us your story, and we'll close with this one before we can share with people where to find you, and I'll pop the link for the invitation down below in a minute.
Yeah, sure. So as I say, I'm from Townsville, so we've got a beautiful island just a few miles off our coast. And my husband and I, we were doing a delivery for a customer who'd bought a big 90 by 90 piece. So I said to my hubby, come with me and we'll make a day of it. So we did that. We did the delivery. And then we decided on the map, you know, we'd play tourists for the day. And on the map, it was a little 5K walk. I went, oh, yeah, 5Ks, that's not far. It'll take us a while because I'm a bit slow. Let's do that. Well, island maps are a little bit, I'm not too sure how to scale they are, but took a while to find the start, and we started walking. We saw this big mountain. I went, oh, thank God we're not going over that, because we've started in a different direction. My hubby just chuckled, and we just kept going up and up and up and up. Probably a couple of Ks in, I take photos, I take my cards with me, I take them all the time and do on location photos. So it's a good excuse for me to stop walking when I get tired.
Just to clarify, you do the on-location photos for social media, so you have that level of intention with your marketing.
Yes.
More juicy coming.
So we just kept walking, came around a corner, and there was three ladies sitting on a log, red faces, didn't want to go any further. And I was much the same. So I sort of sat down with them, and they saw I had a T-shirt with my logo, one of my artwork logos on my shirt. And she said, "Oh, that's nice. What do you do?" So I said, "Oh, well, actually, I can show you." And I pulled out my deck of cards and showed them. And they asked lots of questions. And then my hubby, who's really not very useful most of the times in this sort of thing, he usually does the eye roll, anything arty-farty, goes, oh, show the ladies the app on your phone. Because I was so tired, I had forgotten about the app. So he pulls that out. We do the app, showed the cards. And so I said, ladies, just take one. This is my display box. It's my on location. I do photos, and I just hand them to people, if they feel like one. I didn't want to try and hard sell one on the walking trail. Who wants to buy a deck of cards when you can't even breathe? So,
food and water at top of the agenda.
Yeah, that's it. See, I could have probably sold a bottle of water to them for $20. So gave them a card each, and we went on our way. And we could hear them chuckling because we were still going up, and the voices travelled, and it was just beautiful. The comments we could hear as we were still walking. They didn't know we could still hear them. And it turns out the ladies, the three of them were up from Melbourne for a conference over on the island. So when they went back it took them a few hours to get back to their conference that afternoon. They showed everybody at the conference these cards that they'd met this local artist on the island, and she'd given them their cards. And so you can just imagine, now my three little cards, I'm not sure how many would have been at the conference, but there's usually a few. So eyes on those little three cards for however many ladies were at that conference. And then over the next couple of weeks, it started to filter through. I was getting orders from Melbourne. So,
very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very, very cool.
So it wasn't a hard sell. And I do that often with the intention, not necessarily to sell to people. Like if somebody at work, because I work in a large agency, and if somebody's just feeling a bit down or a bit sad, I might just leave a card on their desk or hand them one. And it's not to sort of say, hey, buy my cards. It's just to make them feel good and make them smile.
Yeah. And you're also now energetic, what I call the energetic signature is in their field. And so unlike a business card, which gets thrown in, it's like every other business card, right? Gets thrown into the drawer or in the bin. Whereas a pretty card or an affirmation card or information, like not information typical, like a spammy kind of thing, but something that is like the card decks that you buy, if you've got even just a single one, that's typically something that someone would stick on the fridge or have on the kitchen counter, use as a bookmark. That's my typical. Or might even be on their bedside table. But the point is, it's in their consciousness. It's kept. And it's also a talking piece if someone else in the family or comes over and they see it. And so it's just a really great idea.
Yeah. So
where do people find you to find out more about you on your website? What's the website name?
www.maggieohara's with an S, so MaggieOharaS.com.
.com, no AU on the end.
If somebody does put maggieohara.com.au, it'll link back through to the other one.
Great. Well, I'll pop the link down below, but I'll also pop the link down for anyone who would like to join this November. It's a limited time opportunity for a limited number of people who want to jump on for just $97, which is insane for what you're offering. And to do Margie's course, which is What the Deck. I love the name of it, What the Deck. and really highlighting how to create these cards as ultimately as a marketing tool to leverage your business, but it's also a product that you can sell. You can sell it singularly or as a bundle pack, or use it as a marketing tool. So I'm going to leave those links down below for people to be able to check that out and maybe jump on board. Again, it is a limited time opportunity. It is not forever at that price. It's only this time round for November 2022. And if you're catching this replay back in the future, sorry, you'll have to join in the next round when it's available for the new price. But thank you so much, Margie, for connecting and sharing what you do. It's amazing. It's a delight to have you as a client as well. You're just gorgeous.
Oh, thank you.
And for those of you who are looking to go on a deeper dive of self-discovery and really live your life in an authentic way to design your life and live your dreams too, stay tuned. You can have you can join the wait list for the Awakened Soul program, which is in 2023, early 2023. And if you're not ready for that yet, just keep chewing through my free content available on my YouTube, my podcast, my website, my blog, and also all over social media. So I just want to send love, light, and lots of blessings, manifesting lots of miracles, magic, and more to all of you. Mwah.